Hello again, and happy Friday. You're here for episode 4, number 4. We do our own special effects here at Rockipedia. Thank you for joining me once again. 4th one. I'm having so much fun doing this, guys. I've gotten good response. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. The more you do that, the more fun stuff I can do. And maybe I can turn this into a money-making venture. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's help. So hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends. Also, please communicate with me. Tell me what you're thinking. Rockipediapodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Facebook page. Go look it up. Follow us. Stay in touch. Don't forget to write. I have a bunch of cool stuff for you today on this episode. We are going to do a new segment called You Had to Be There. It's all about concerts, fun stuff. And we're going to do a new version or a new edition of In Case You Missed It, music news. Probably have another look what I found. So a new artist to me, somebody I'm hoping to help you discover if you don't already know him. And another new segment called Rock Life Stories. And these are my stories of rock and roll related adventures. So some of them are funny. Some of them are scary. Some of them are like, Dave, why would you tell us that? And then you go tell all your friends what Dave said. So that'll be a fun segment. So we're doing that today as well. Thank you for joining me. I want to thank our friends over at Home Loan Ninja. Optimal Home Loans. Aaron Myra, a good friend of mine. Him and I were in radio together for several years, and we've been friends for probably 18 to 20 years maybe. I appeared on his podcast. He's going to appear on mine at some point. I'm certain of it. We have a lot of radio adventures and other stuff that we've done together that are fun to talk about. So he's helping me out, and his company there, if you need a home loan, you need to talk to him. He's really good at what he does. So he's helping out by being the sponsor of this episode, and we thank him so much for that. So stick around. I've got that first new segment coming up in just a second, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I really, really do. It's pretty cool, just like everything else we do at the Rockipedia podcast, folks.
High-end custom homes to facilitating dreams of home ownership. In 2005, as the housing market crumbled, Aaron dove headfirst into the world of home financing. Navigating the downturn, he honed his expertise from street-level processes to the sway of the stock and bond markets. His tenacity and knowledge earned him the moniker, the Home Loan Ninja. At Optimal Rate Home Loans, the team understands that purchasing a home is a monumental decision. They've built a reputation on exceptional communication and service, ensuring every client's journey is handled with utmost care. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance an existing one, trust the expertise of the Home Loan Ninja and his team at Optimal Rate Home Loans. Your dream home is closer than you think.
Rockipedia with David Miller. Episode number 4. Hi. It's going to be a good one, too, I promise. All right. So you're going to be seeing this on the 2nd day of February. So welcome to a new month. Hi, February. I'm David, and this is the 4th episode of Season 1 of Rockipedia. A little music program I like to do here. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I finally got it together. So here we go. I've got a new feature for you today that we're going to start with. I like bringing new stuff in. You're going to see lots of different things. Whenever I have an idea, I throw it together, it becomes a thing. So I'll be rotating all kinds of different stuff in. The music news and new artist stuff, that'll be pretty consistent. But then there's going to be all these other fun things. Like today's offering, You had to be there. Yeah, you did, to really understand it. And that's what these are about, concert memories. We all have those. Some great show you went to, some weird adventure you and your friends had en route or during or after. Almost every show has a memorable moment. And so I'm going to share mine with you. And then I would hope you will share yours with me. You can do it in the comments. You can do it by emailing rockipediapodcast@gmail.com. Or you can do it over on Facebook. We have one of those too. So, my first one is kind of an interesting one, and it's not from my youth. It's actually from a fairly recent time, 2019. And I was introduced to the band. Well, not introduced to the band, but I became deeply aware of and a strong admirer of the band Panic at the Disco in 2019. And here's how that all shook out. So when I was doing radio still, like in the late 90s, or I think the late 90s is kind of when Panic started. And they went for like 10 years. They have now decided to pull the plug. Brendan Urie is basically who they are. He's the head dude, and he brings on musicians now to fill out the band. But he and his wife had a baby in 2021, I believe, and he decided that their Viva Las Vengeance tour and album would be the swan song of the band. And so far he's stuck to that. I think he'll eventually come back with something. I understand wanting to be home with your kids, so I'm sure that's a big part of it. He's also got so many opportunities in front of him and ability. He could do He has done Broadway. He was in the stage show Kinky Boots. Brendan can do just about anything. I think he wants to delve into acting a little bit, perhaps, maybe more Broadway stuff, maybe some solo stuff that's not like Panic. So if you don't know Panic at the Disco, I'm about to introduce you to him, and I think you're going to like him. And if you've heard the name and just thought, oh, that's not for me, you might be wrong, because they're very versatile. They've got all kinds of cool stuff going on. So the way this happened is my son, Ryan, decided that he was a big fan of Panic at the Disco. And it was during the 2017, 2018 kind of era. I started hearing more and more Panic at the Disco around the house, and the more I heard, the more I enjoyed it. Pretty soon, Pray for the Wicked album came out, and I listened to it thoroughly with Ryan and fell in love with it. It's an amazing album. It's got so many good songs on it, and that kind of launched it for me. And I knew Ryan would really like to go see him in concert, and at this point, I wanted to see him too, because I think they're good. So I tried to get tickets for a Portland show, and did the whole sit down at the computer first thing in the morning, and you're click, 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 and you're not getting it. And that's what happened. I didn't get tickets. It sold out. So I'm kind of done with it. I'm like, okay, well, it's sold out. I didn't get tickets. I'm not the guy that'll go pursue them that hard. I'm not going to go pay $500 a ticket through a secondary ticket chain, those types of things. If I can get in, reasonably through normal channels, then I'll do it. But I'm not going to go crazy. Unless it's a certain artist, probably. And so I'd kind of given up on it. And then a friend of ours, actually a classmate of my oldest child, Chloe, wonderful lady named Linnea, she threw out on Facebook that she had ended up with 2 pairs of tickets in different areas of the Moda Center in Portland where the concert was going to happen, and wanted to get rid of a pair of them. And I immediately hit her up and said, hey, I want them. And not only did she make sure I got them, but she gave them to me for a ridiculously good price. And it was one of those things where you just feel like it's meant to be. So this is myself and Ryan. Look at us in the Moda Center during the waiting for Panic at the Disco to take the stage. This is the cover of Pray for the Wicked. If you don't have this album, if you haven't listened to this album in its entirety, you need to do so. So I found a really cool video on YouTube. I'm always looking. And this is actually of the exact show we saw, but this is at the O2 in London. But the entrance of this is great because when this starts, you'll see that Brendan's on like an elevator under the stage. And his entrance and the way they start a show is very vibrant and very exciting. So I wanted to share that with you. I've got a couple clips I'm going to share with you today of Panic at the Disco. Try to get you into them a little bit and let you see more. So let's take a look. Why don't we? This is the beginning of the Pray for the Wicked show, live from the O2 in London in 2019. See, these guys rock. I love the energy in the stage show, and his range is ridiculous. I mean, the guy can sing his ass off. It's totally cool. All right, so that's that one. I encourage you to dig up this video. It's the Live at the O2 2019 from the Pray for the Wicked tour. The whole thing is worth watching. It's an amazing show. I'm going to show you some more of it. And this next clip is very cool. And being in the arena when it happened was also very cool. So this next clip is a performance that is also from the same tour. I believe this may be from the LA show that we're going to see here. This is You Had to Be There, the concert experiences segment of the show. And this is about me getting down to Panic at the Disco. Pretty cool stuff. So this performance here is very, very cool. He starts out on a piano and he's in the back of the arena, and the piano raises and then basically flies over the top of the crowd to the main stage. During the course of this performance, I'm going to play a little bit of it for you. I may not play the whole thing. You may have to go dig it up and see the finish all on your own if you want some closure. But right now, I want you to check out how this goes and listen to his voice, man. And he's a great pianist. He's a great guitar player. He's a great drummer. He does all of it throughout the course of the show. Pretty incredible.
I learned how to play piano because my mom tried to force me to take lessons, and I hated it. So she was very kind, took pity on me, just let me fiddle around when I heard a song or a melody or something. And so I taught myself these chords, And this reminds me of my mom. She used to play it for me all the time.
What a great transition, and now he flies. Watching this in the arena I was like this. And if you listen, everybody in that crowd is singing. Very cool stuff. Panic at the Disco. My introduction to them through my kid. My true introduction to them. I was aware but not aware. And then I got to go see them and it was great. So I have one more clip I'm going to show to you of these guys. And I think you're going to dig it as well. But this clip may be a divider for some people. They're doing a song that most people say you can't touch. You shouldn't try it. But I was amazed at how well they do this song. So, this is their take on Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. This is live. I saw them do it live. They do all of it live. It's not tracked. It's them killing it. They are definitely killing it. Check it out.
We're going to do a song that we've done for a number of years now. We started doing it because we just had fun doing it. And in my very, very humble opinion, it is the greatest rock song ever composed by a rock band. Yeah, absolutely. And coincidentally, a movie came out a few months ago with the same title as the song, which is great. And I enjoyed it. But it centers around a band, and the name of that band is Queen.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. It's not easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, to me. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really mattered. Too late, my time is gone. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave you on the edge and face the truth. Mama, I don't wanna die. Sometimes I wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Mamma mia. So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby.
The reason this works so well is they do it with a reverence. They respect the material. They're doing it like the song, right? You know, they're not messing it up. They're not changing it. They're killing it. Very, very cool stuff. And I think they do an admirable job of it. So that's Panic at the Disco. I've loved introducing you to them. If you've just seen them now for the first time, if you've been a fan and you're like, Dave, where have you been? I get it. I totally get it. But I am really glad that I got introduced to them. And I thank my kid Ryan for inspiring me to go see him live, because it was an experience I will never forget. And don't forget that I want to hear about your experiences. You right there. I want you to go into the description here and into the comments and make sure you tell me about your concert experience. You can also email it to me at rockipediapodcast@gmail.com. And we have a Facebook. You can do it over there too, either in Messenger or just on the page. Post it. Tell us about your favorite concert, your biggest adventure, whatever it was. I'll probably start sharing some of those here on the podcast as well in this segment. It's not just about me. This is your podcast too. So get involved. Why don't you? All right. We want to thank Stone's Guitar Repair for bringing us this edition of You Had to Be There. They are a big supporter of Rockipedia, and they're also a big supporter of me because Ian Stone over there at Stone's Guitar Repair takes care of my guitars. Those back there and some others I have around the house. Yeah, he's the guy I go to. So if you need something repaired and you're in Central Oregon, make sure you check out Stone's Guitar Repair. And thanks for checking this out. I've got more coming up, so stick around.
Sound with over 60 years of expertise in fretted instrument repair. Trust your prized instrument to the best. Stone's Guitar Repair, located on Franklin in Bend, Oregon. Or visit us online at stonesguitarrepair.com.
Boom! That's how we do it. You all know I'm goofy. If you've spent any time with me at all in person, you go home and you're like, this dude's crazy. All right, so we continue with episode 4 of Rockipedia with David Miller, and we are going to do something really cool right now. I'm very excited for you because you're going to get to find out about a new artist. Yeah, and we're doing Look What I Found. It's a fun thing. Makes you want to dance. So this is me discovering artists. I go down these wormholes on YouTube. And the wormholes lead to wonderful things and hours wasted. Isn't that the way it is? But this week I have somebody fantastic for you. I was so impressed by these guys. Just ran across them on YouTube. Probably how you found me. Just ran across me on YouTube. So, the Royal Republic. These cats are from Malmo, Sweden. I don't know if I said that right. Malmo, Sweden. And they formed in 2007. They've been around a long time. Adam, Hans, Jonas, and Peter. I'm in a band with a Swedish guy. He's going to tell me everything I just mispronounced. I do not doubt it one bit. Because that's what we do. But I got to tell you, the Royal Republic are worth our time. I'm going to show you why. So, I was digging around on YouTube for something. Research, probably. Something very important. I'm certain it wasn't wasting time. But it was. And then I found this. So then time not wasted, right? Okay. So I don't know how to describe these guys, honestly. They are pop, they are rock, they are dance, they are humor, they are an amazing show to watch. They have charisma. They're entertaining as all get out. They're releasing a new album. I believe it comes out in February. I could be wrong. February or March. A new album comes out. And then they're going to be touring. And rumor has it they're going to come to the States. So I'm really hoping I can catch them live. And you're going to want to, too, after you see what I'm sharing with you today. I want to point out, too, I didn't say in the last segment, the You Had to Be There segment, but all of those videos and anything I talk about on this show, I'm going to have links in the description so you can go follow up. So that live video I told you should watch all of, there'll be a link for that Panic at the Disco video in here. There's going to be a link for all of this Royal Republic stuff as well. And this is pretty fun because they end up at, from what I can tell, these guys end up at different festivals all over the world. Everything from electronic dance music style festivals, pop festivals, hard rock and metal festivals. This is going to be more of the hard rock and metal vein that we're going to see here. Bloodstock. Sounds a little metal, doesn't it? So this is a full set. I'm not going to play the full set, obviously. I'm going to play little snippets here and there. But I want you to check these guys out because live, I got to tell you, they got it going on. Royal Republic. Me too! Fireman! That's fun stuff. So these guys got it going on live. You know what? They know their rock and roll too. Check this out. So this is the same concert, the same show that we were just watching. And this is when they pull out the rock and roll. You got to check it out. It's fun stuff. This is more of Royal Republic. Oh man, they're fun. They're fun guys. And I can't wait till the opportunity comes my way to see them live. I'm going. I would travel overseas to see something that exciting. I hope you enjoyed it. As we introduced you to the Royal Republic on Look What I Found. And I want to thank my friends over at the North Side for bringing us Look What I Found. The vibrant energy of the North Side Bar and Grill on Boyd Acres in Bend, Oregon. Savor tantalizing food and great drinks from a spirited staff. Sing your heart out at karaoke every Tuesday and enjoy live music. Mellow Wednesday open mic on Wednesdays and bands with dancing on Thursday and Saturday. Plus football and more sports action on multiple televisions and the Oregon Lottery. Your entertainment is guaranteed. We'll see you there. NorthsideBarFun.com. And we're back. It's Rockipedia with David Miller. Episode 4. And another new segment. We got all kinds of new today. And this segment is called Rock Life Stories. My Life in Music. Look at that graphic. Pictures of me in different situations. A couple albums I released on there too. Album covers. So here's what this is going to be. This is going to be me telling you stories. Story time, kids. And the first story I've chosen in this Rock Life segment happened in the mid-90s, early 90s. It was, I was in a cover band and we were on the road. And we were called Wits End. And we traveled in a converted school bus. So the school bus was still yellow. Of course, all the school district labels and stuff were either removed or covered up because that's the law. And we had taken all but 4 seats out of this bus. And we put all of our gear in the very back of the bus and used those torsion bars that you see in semi-trucks to hold loads in place. We used those to hold the gear in there. And then we had a space between there and the chairs where we could put sleeping bags, things like that, carry other gear or luggage. In hindsight, the 4 of us or 3 of us, whoever wasn't driving, laying on the floor underneath all that gear. Should there have been a wreck? Oh my goodness, it would have been horrid. But we were young and dumb and doing silly stuff. And we were on the road in a rock band. Woo! And that's kind of the way we took it too. This bus had a sticker on the back of it. And today I am not as proud of this sticker as I was back in the day, but it's still kind of funny. The sticker said, "Don't laugh, your daughter might be in here." So we drove that thing to Boise, Idaho. And we had hooked up with an agent named Bill Boley out of Portland, Oregon. And we were out of Portland at that time. I was still up in Portland area. The band was actually kind of based in Boring, Oregon. We practiced out there. And so we'd put, maybe 4 months into putting together set lists and stuff and being ready to go out. And I think at this point we had done maybe 3 or 4 shows. And we were headed to Boise. And this was big doings for us. That's a long way to go. And we were booked for 2 weeks at the same bar. It was called Dino's Bar and Grill. I do not think it's there anymore. Like many venues from that era, they have disappeared. But it was a fun place. And we had a really interesting 2 weeks over there. But one particular night, so the first weekend we're there, we started on a Thursday, I believe, Thursday night. By Friday, we've started to make some friends, and I believe it was Friday night. I could be wrong. It could have been Saturday night. I think it was Friday because we had to play again the next night. I remember that much. So Friday night, we get done playing, and we've made friends with people in the community, and we've been invited to an after party. Now, we only have the school bus, and we're not trekking the school bus around neighborhoods to parties. That's not a good look, and it draws attention. And if you're going somewhere where you don't want attention drawn, you don't want to take a big, bright yellow school bus full of rock and roll musicians. So we are left to the devices of those facilitating this party. And they tell us this party's going to be amazing. We're going to swing by the store, make a beer run. We'll head out to the party. You guys should come with us. It's going to be fun. And we're all up for it because we've just played for a couple hours and we've got a couple drinks in us and we're feeling like rock stars because these people want to hang out. So we're like, okay, we'll go with you. So we all load in the back of this Toyota or Datsun pickup. It's a smaller pickup. So it's the band in the back and then the 2 guys or 3 people in the front, I guess. 2 guys and a girl, I think. And they're part of a caravan of cars that are headed out to the same party, apparently. So we are charged with going by the store in our vehicle and picking up the beer. And so we go to an Albertsons that's nearby. As we're leaving this Albertsons, we're all piled into the back of this truck. And the guitar player at the time, his name's Pat Ryan. This boy is like 6'3", pretty ominous looking when he wants to be. Had hair, black hair down to his shoulders and kind of had a Ted Nugent thing going on. And he's in the back and he's laying, and again, in hindsight, you're going to see this coming and you're going to go, what? You guys are idiots. He's like this across the back of the truck, laying on the tailgate that way, just lounging. And we're up the sides and I'm kind of directly to his right. He's to my left. And we drop out of this Albertsons parking lot, and as we hit the street, that tailgate flies open and Pat starts going. And I grab his foot, and I'm the only thing holding on to this 6 foot, 260 some pound big guy. And Jason, the bass player, is hitting the back of the window of the truck trying to get their attention so they'll stop. So they finally see what's going on. They stop. We pull Pat back in, latch up the tailgate, decide that nobody's leaning on the tailgate. Off we go. Didn't slow us down much at all. So we get to this party, and it's taken us a while to get there, and we don't know the area. We have no idea. By the time we get there, we have no idea where we're at in relation to anything else. And we pull up, and there's a bunch of cars in what looks like an abandoned kind of lot that there's a trailer in. And when I say trailer, when you hear the word trailer in a negative connotation, it throws a picture in your mind of a specific trailer. That's the one. That's the one. Looks like it could have been out of a set of, off of Breaking Bad or something. And we go in. There's no lights. There's no lights going on in this house at all. But there's people. You can tell there's people. And there's some candles around and stuff. So we're not sure if the lighting situation is ambiance or budget. But it's odd. And so we kind of all filter into the living area where you would assume there would be, couch, chairs, TV, that kind of thing. Nothing. But there are people lined up all around the room, along the walls. And they are visiting, and it has a party vibe, but not a party vibe. It's not like jumping. There's very little music going on. There's some noises in the back of the trailer that sound more like a party than what's going on in this room. What's going on in this room is they are passing around several broken light bulbs and smoking crack cocaine out of it. That's the kind of party this was. So we had walked into an episode of Cops waiting to happen. And this is where we're at now. And we came out with people that were excited about this situation. So they're not, going to be eager to leave. And we say right away, hey, this isn't our scene, guys. We need to go back to the bar. Well, they're not eager to leave because they ain't got their Jones yet or whatever. I don't know. They say, well, you know what? There's a room back there where they're all smoking weed and hanging out and listening to music and stuff. If you want to go back there, we'll be back there in a little bit. So we do. We go back there. We're trying to not, raise a fuss. And there's like 30 of them. And they're all pretty high on crack cocaine. So, we're not poking the bear if we don't have to. So we decide to go down the hallway, and we go into this room, and there's maybe 8-9 people in what would be an average trailer bedroom, master bedroom. And they've got, bongs and beer, and it's more our speed of party, I'll say. And so we hang out in there, and they're nice people, and we end up having an okay time, not a big deal. And then eventually, Skippy with the Datsun pickup in the faulty tailgate comes and gets us and says, okay, I'm ready to go back to town. We have no idea what condition this guy's in, or we all pile back in the truck. But Jason, the bass player, on the way back into town sits up front because it's not all of the other folks that were there. It's just the band and one dude. And so we kind of dispersed that way. But it was an adventure for certain. We got back to the hotel and we said, okay, we have to have new rules as we're going into these situations so that we don't, end up out in the woods at a crack house again. So that's some of the rock life stuff. That's what happens when you're out there doing the rock life thing. There's lots of those stories, and I'm going to have a whole bunch more for you over the next several episodes, and who knows. If you have a rock life story, I know a lot of you are musicians, so if you have a rock life story, you should go down there in the comments and post it, or you can email it to me, rockipediapodcast@gmail.com, or go over to our Facebook and give us a follow, and you can submit it over there. Love to hear your rock life story. And we want to thank our friends at TIG Tactical for presenting Rock Life Stories.
Your inner warrior at TIG Tactical Self-Defense School. Master self-defense techniques swiftly, tailored for everyday threats. From weekly trainings to quick-train seminars in Bend, Oregon. TIG Tactical, empowering anyone, anywhere.
It's the return! Again. All right. We're getting close to wrapping up this episode of Rockipedia with David Miller Up. Thank you so much for joining me for this 4th episode. We are going to close things out with this little ditty, in case you missed it. Some of the latest in rock music news for you. And this is brought to you by me, myself. Actually, I have a company called Miller Music Media, and that's the company that puts this podcast out, and amongst other things, and you can locate us by going to a link in the description and find out more. We do voiceover work, we do podcast editing. I can create these types of things for you that who like that and do those things. So yeah, if you need something, holla at your boy. Isn't that what they say? I don't know. Anyway, here I am in my room doing my thing, and our first little news story has to do with our friends over there. You know, I'm really good friends with these guys. Motley Crue, baby. Yeah, we're not friends, but I've appreciated their music off and on over the years, and I've seen them in concert several times. Apparently, last November, Nikki Sixx let the news out that he and his wife and child were being stalked. He said, like many public figures, myself and my family were harassed and threatened by a stalker, a deranged woman from Tennessee who I've never met or seen before, targeted my wife and child with threats of death and bodily harm. And they just won legal fees in a Wyoming court against one of the stalkers. He's had two stalkers. Nikki Sixx always goes above and beyond. 2 stalkers. So apparently that's getting resolved for him to some degree. And in related Motley Crue news, guitarist John Five, who recently joined Motley Crue, did a little medley of Motley Crue tunes at his solo show in Vegas on the 28th of January. Now, there is no doubt that this guy is an amazing guitar player. I've seen him live, and his solo shows are a lot of fun. And he brings something cool to the crew. I'm not going to lie. But I miss Mick Mars. But this is kind of a cool thing he did. You gotta love the bass player's t-shirt. But this goes on for like 8 minutes, so I'll have a link in the description. You can check it out for yourself. But that's a little bit of the Motley Crue news. So that's our edition of In Case You Missed It. You didn't miss it, you were right here on Rockipedia with David Miller. And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I love ya. Make sure you share with your friends. Tell them to go over here to this little page. This is my YouTube channel for the podcast. You can email us, rockipediapodcast@gmail.com. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share it. Throw down a comment. Head over to our Facebook page and follow us. Everything you saw in this episode will have links in the description. So will our sponsors, the Northside Bar and Grill, Stone's Guitar Repair, TIG Tactical, and your Home Loan Ninja. You can find their links in the description. And the links to all the equipment I use to make this fabulous piece of entertainment. Yeah. All right. Next week, we're going to have our first interview. I will be interviewing my friend Brandon Cook. Brandon is a guitar player in a band called Black and Blue. You'll remember them from the 80s. They came out of Portland, Oregon. He also has a band called The Loyal Order, and he was in a Guns N' Roses tribute band for about 15 years. So we're going to have a little conversation with Brandon next week. I'll have more in case you missed it. And who knows what else. I take your suggestions, requests, and criticisms in the description or at the email rockipediapodcast@gmail.com. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Rockipedia with David Miller is a production of Miller Music Media LLC.